paintings sound like. So Google just dropped a ton of big, shiny new tools at their I/O conference the other week. You may have seen some of the headlines. But tucked quietly away at a little corner of the internet, they also have a little digital laboratory for us to experiment with.
Mm. Hmm.
It's called Google Labs, and they have some of the most creative, fun, sometimes useless, always interesting little tools and experiments. So today, I want to talk about a few of my favorites. So Google Labs is over here at labs.google. You can see they're featuring Flow quite prominently. But if you go in here to their experiments tab, everything is laid out in a little bit less of an in-your-face style. All right, so first up for us is Sparkify. This is short little videos that Google has created using their new VO3 video generation model and probably their Flow editing tool. We can't create any videos of our own yet using Sparkify. There is a waitlist, which I have joined, but they have some examples here that are just kind of mind-boggling. It looks like they're gearing this toward educational or informative short form videos, but their styles and their voices are just fascinating. So here is my personal favorite.
Ever see those giant orange red towers in San Francisco? That's the famous Golden Gate. Before the bridge, getting across the bay was a long ferry ride. People wanted something faster. So the idea for a bridge came up, but many thought it was impossible. Strong currents, deep water, fog, even earthquakes. The challenges were huge.
Okay, yes, please. I definitely want to visit a world that has just been knitted out of yarn. The detail on that is just fantastic. The movement for I guess for a knitted person, just superb. They have done an excellent job. And just scroll around here if you get a chance. They've got a whole series of videos. Should You Becomes, Hidden Chemistry in the Kitchen. Definitely recommend learning about the chemistry of fruit juice caviar from a talking bear. Okay, the next one is completely useless and I could not stop playing with it. I just love this one. It's the National Gallery Mixtape. They've got famous paintings from the National Gallery because of course you want to know what a famous work of art sounds like, don't you? They give you a selection of artwork to choose from, and you just drag and drop it into the score. So I've got a selection that I put together because, of course, each painting tells a story of its own. So you can mix and you can match, and you can hear how some of the paintings have more delicate music and some are a little bit deeper and more emotional. And of course, it's useless, but just filled me with delight. Next up, some wordplay. Google has this great TextFX experiment that lets you just play with words. And they've got a ton of different ones. You can do a simile. You enter a thing or a concept. Let's do an idea. It gets to work down here. The idea bloomed in my mind like a shy violet pushing through stubborn earth. And they will just do a whole list of them. It hung there as elusive as smoke curling from a distant chimney. You can break a word into similar sounding phrases. This would be great if you were doing some sort of songwriting. You can make a scene more unexpected. This one I love for image prompting. I very often will want to kind of test some art styles or something, but just at the moment can't think of a creative, fun idea. So you can enter something super simple, like a duck on a pond, a robotic duck on a pond of mercury. And it just comes up with a whole slew of ideas that you could go generate or write about or paint or whatever. A duck on a pond made of solidified moonlight. I mean, I kind of love that. A miniature duck on a pond inside a snow globe held by a giant. These are just great, just a ton of fun. You can do a chain, build a chain of semantically related items, alliteration, you can build an acronym, you can find the intersection between two things. You can build a scene. So this one's kind of fun because you can just say something like window shopping. It will sort of give you the background sounds and visuals. So this might be great if you were doing a movie and you wanted to do like a video shot. If you couldn't quite think of all the details that you wanted to add, this is very helpful for that kind of thing. The rhythmic click-clack of high heels on the pavement, sunlight reflecting off polished glass storefronts, muted chatter of shoppers browsing nearby displays. You can just start building that visual and audio image in your mind. All right, and finally, Whisk. This is a new experimental tool that lets you use images as prompts and then you can animate them. This does not use the new video generation model VO3. I think it uses VO2 and you can't add audio, but it is still a ton of fun to play with and it's free. All right, so I am going to take one of those prompts from the duck pond, a miniature duck on a pond inside a snow globe held by a giant. Inside of here, there's a bunch of things you can do. You could add images, you can add sort of scenes and ideas. You could really build this out. I'm just going to keep it simple today. You can roll the dice and have it auto-generate a prompt for you, but I am interested in seeing what it builds with this. So it's going to give me a couple of options to choose from. This is great. All right, so if you are a tiny rubber duck, even a child looks like a giant to you. So I want to select this one. Now I could either go in and refine it and kind of edit it and change some things, or I can animate it. And I definitely want to animate it. All right, and I want to give it just a real simple prompt here. The duck swims around inside the snow globe. Because this image generator is not perfect, it's not always great, but it seems like it does pretty well on pretty simple prompts. So let's give that a try. You are limited to 10 generations, and as you can see, I have used several already. And you get an 8-second clip. Let's take a look. So this is a great example. I didn't ask even for the snow to blow around, but that is actually what I kind of wanted. And the duck is not exactly swimming around, but he's rotating. There's movement there. So really, I would say for free, that's pretty good. All right, and I did save the best for last in some ways. If you go into their flow experiment, this is where if you had an upgraded subscription, you could create videos with VO3. I am not yet paying for a subscription. You can get a month for free of their sort of their basic paid tier. You can get 3 months of their upgraded tier at half price for a limited time, but it's $250 for that upgraded. It's not unlimited flow generations, but it's quite a few more credits. I am going to get the first tier pretty soon so I can go play around with flow, but I don't have that yet. Everything you've seen today is free with no paid subscription. So I was keeping everything at the free level. All right, but if you go into Flow, scroll down to the bottom, you can watch what other people have done with short films, but here is a secret little mesmerizing gem of their website. You can watch Flow TV. And if you click over here, you can view all of the different channels they have so helpfully provided us. This one's pretty great if you like to watch animals. If you love watching those sort of factory line videos on YouTube, you need to check out Dream Factory. So if this is all done doing their new VO3 video generation, I cannot wait to play with that. These are very impressive. And definitely kind of mesmerizing to watch. All right, the other one, I will not go through all of these, but the other one that is just a ton of fun to watch, I think, is the movable type. This one I find quite compelling. All right, so that's it for today, but I cannot recommend enough going to labs.google and just scrolling through. They have so many experiments out here. Some of them are sort of coding, some of them are creative. All of them are just really fun little ideas and a great sort of tasting menu to see what their vision is going forward, what's possible, and what is really just on the cutting edge and about to happen in AI. Not everything works perfectly, and they are experiments, so I think they might kind of come and go. So go take a look, have some fun, and just play. Because what's the fun of AI if you can't be just a little goofy sometimes? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.